Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. I'm so excited about today's video. I've been wanting to film this for a very long time and I'm actually filming this pretty far in advance, so if you're watching this, I've had to wait even longer, so I'm probably just about to explode by now. But also, this video is a part of my The Anti-Virginity Pact release celebration content. So if you weren't aware, my novel The Anti-Virginity Pact is coming out June 16th. Very exciting, very exciting. So you might be thinking this is kind of a weird topic for the release week content, but for whatever reason in my mind, this was when I wanted to announce this. I guess because did that just fall over? It did. We're gonna leave it. I guess because I'm the kind of person that I always like to have something to look forward to. Once the Anti-Virginity Pact is out, it'll be nice to have another release to look forward to. So, the point of this video, we're going to be talking about my second poetry collection. So I'll give you the title, the little description for it, show you the cover, and give you the release date. If you didn't know, my debut poetry collection, The Sweetest Kind of Poison, came out in August of 2018. I've had people asking me when I was going to release a second collection pretty much from the day that I published this. And if you were one of those people, thank you. Thank you for pestering me about it. Thank you for constantly asking me about it because I needed that push. Like, I truthfully don't know if I ever would have even written this second collection, let alone published it, if you guys hadn't been pushing me to do that. So I genuinely really appreciate that. So, over 2 years later, we're having the second collection come out, and I still love The Sweetest Kind of Poison. It's always gonna have this like nostalgic place in my heart. But the second collection, I love so much more for different reasons. Like, I'm so proud of it. It's much more of a mixed bag than The Sweetest Kind of Poison. If you haven't read The Sweetest Kind of Poison, it's a collection that's basically like a narrative. It's all following a timeline for a toxic, abusive relationship. So it's all pretty much one subject matter. And the second poetry collection kind of has a central theme, but it's a lot more all over the place. I tackled a lot of different topics. I also have just like a lot of different formats. I tried different kinds of poetry, and I was just like a lot more willing to experiment in this book than I was with that first one. So anyway, I'm a lot more proud of this one. I think it's a more accurate representation of my writing, and I'm really excited for you guys to read it. So with that very wordy intro, the title of my second poetry collection is Poems for the End of the World. And I realize the timing of this is unfortunate. I promise this title has nothing to do with anything that has been happening in the mess that has been the year of 2020. I've had this title in my mind since 2017. I've known that I was going to call my second poetry collection Poems for the End of the World since 2017. And the only reason why I know that is because in my journal at the top, I have a journal specifically for poetry, and I date the top of it, and I found that title with like a 2017 date at the top, and I was like, holy crap. Like, long before I'd ever actually written the collection, I knew that's what I wanted the title to be. And unfortunately, 3 years later, it's a more relevant title than ever. But anyway, Poems for the End of the World. I guess I will show you the cover now. So here it is. Here's just the front cover, but I think the best way to look at this is the full spread. So here's the front and the back together. This is my absolute favorite cover of all of my books so far. It's my favorite book of all of my books so far, but also my favorite cover. I am obsessed with this cover. So I worked with the same cover designer that I did with The Sweetest Kind of Poison, and she and I went through so many different concepts before we got to this cover, and I'm so freaking happy with it. So if you're watching this, thank you so much. Honestly, working with her has been the most fun and also just like the best experience of all of my like designers, editors, any kind of professionals I've worked with for my books. She's been a dream to work with. So if you are interested in her, I'll have her Instagram link down below. You should definitely go check her out. I also have, the day I'm filming this, I don't have my final copies yet, but I do have one of my proof copies. So here he is. Oh, so cute. I love it. I'm so happy with this cover. So yeah, Poems for the End of the World. The release date is going to be October 1st. 2020. And by the time this video goes up, I'm hoping I will have all of the links prepared so you can go like add it on Goodreads. Perhaps you might be able to pre-order it. Not sure. If there are links live, they'll be down below. So yeah, October, Poems for the End of the World. Mark your calendar. I'm so excited for this book to come out. I'm really excited for you guys to read it. I think if you read The Sweetest Kind of Poison, you will like this because there is a bit of a bridge into it. Like the whole, I guess I didn't really tell you much about the book either. It's split into 4 sections. I think The Sweetest Kind of Poison was split into 5. And so the first section is sort of a bridge from The Sweetest Kind of Poison. So you don't have to have read the first collection to read this one, but if you have read the first collection, I think you'll like that first section and how it kind of connects the two. But the book also completely stands on its own. And then also, if you didn't like The Sweetest Kind of Poison and you decide to give this second collection a second try, thank you. I appreciate that. I think you might like it more. I like it more. The Sweetest Kind of Poison had a lot of like micro poems, just like a little short couple of lines. This one has like a couple of those, but they're mainly like long actual poems in here. So yeah, I'll read you the little description. This also may have changed by the time this video is going up, but as of now, this is the description for it. Poems for the End of the World is a coming-of-age collection and exploration of the confusing and disillusioning trek through young adulthood in a broken world. Divided into 4 chapters, waking up, growing pains, crushing realities, and disappointing beginnings, this collection covers everything from self-discovery and heartbreak to chronic illness and fresh starts. So that's the book. I've been like adding and taking things out at the last minute, so I'm not exactly sure what the final page count will be, but I think it's gonna be around 110. Just like I did with the Anti-Virginity Pact, there is a list of trigger warnings at the beginning. I don't think any of these are extreme, but it's just something that, like, just in case it actually does help even just like one person, I've decided to start including them at the front of all of my books. So just to give you a heads up in case any of these topics might affect you, this book contains sensitive material relating to eating disorders, depression and anxiety, terminal illness, chronic illness, sexual assault, gun violence, trauma, abuse, and more. Again, I don't think any of those are super like graphic or anything, but I just want to let you know that those topics do come up in the poems. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I could tell you about this collection before we end this video. I haven't run this by my cover designer yet, so possibly disregard this. If you're watching this, I'm gonna email you if she's comfortable with me sharing early versions of this cover. Because when I say we went through different concepts, I mean like it wasn't like a different version of this cover, it was a completely different cover, like completely different idea. So if she's comfortable with it, I'm thinking about making like a post or a video on my Patreon page of like the evolution of this cover and the idea we first started with, what that turned into, then we took a sharp left over here, and then we finally ended up with this one. And once she sent me the illustration for this, I think we made like one tweak where I was like, hey, could you do this? And then that was it. And then we like did a second tweak to get the title how I wanted it. But like once we had this illustration, it was like, okay, sold, we're done. We didn't really tweak much from there, but we went from very, very different covers before we finally landed on this like concept. So in case you didn't get like a close-up of the cover before, I love it. It's this little astronaut and we have like the galaxy reflected on her helmet, and I don't know if you can really tell that she's supposed to be like kind of like disintegrating. And then the back kind of follows that same theme. We have a glass of wine, very on brand, which is kind of like disintegrating, and we have like that galaxy kind of in the wine. And then there's just a line from one of the poems on the back which says, "If you are underwhelmed by me, please just let me go." Sorry if you can see like my little handprints on this. I put oil on my face at night as a moisturizer, and that's also when I read my books, so my oily fingers always just ruin all of my books at night. So yeah, this is our second poetry collection. Like, I'm so proud of this collection. I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. Like the full product. I love the cover, I love the content. I'm really excited for you guys to read it. Like I said, I'll have all like relevant links down below in the description if you want to go add the book on Goodreads or pre-order it if those links are available already. This is going to be available the same way that the Anti-Virginity Pact has been. Oh, I just pointed at it. I forgot it fell on the floor. So physical and ebook copies will be available. If you want to get a physical copy from Amazon, you're gonna have to wait till after it releases. And then if you are international and you're wondering, is this available in my country? The answer is probably yes for an ebook. You'll be able to get the ebook most places. Physical copies might be a little bit more difficult, but it will be available. If you have Amazon in your country, you'll be able to get it through Amazon. It'll be available through Barnes & Noble, and it will be available through Book Depository. I just don't have any control on when that's up, so you might, again, have to wait until after it's released in order to get a physical copy if you are in a different country. I think I covered everything. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'm so excited for you guys to have this one. Of course, I love my other books, but this is the one that I'm the most proud of. This is the one that's, yeah, that's the one that I'm most excited for you guys to read. So I hope some of you guys are excited as well. I'm assuming if you're watching this video and you're watching till the end that you're excited. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget the Anti-Virginity Pact is coming out June 16th. I'll have a link down below in the description for all of this pre-release content if you've missed any of the other videos. But other than that, I think I'll just see you guys in my next video very, very soon. Bye.
So hit me. So hit me. so hit me. First a confession, with you I feel a connection. With